Fasten your seatbelts, because the U.S. men's national team just turned a corner, and not everyone is ready for where this ride is headed. After a rocky start, the squad closed out its September window with their most confident showing yet under head coach Mauricio Pochettino, taking a clear-cut 2-0 win over Japan. Coming straight after a disappointing loss to South Korea, this bounce-back was more than just a boost. It was a statement. But here's where things get truly intriguing. This may be the moment that redefines the USMNT's path to the 2026 World Cup. Let's pull back the curtain. Pochettino promised an experimental camp, shaking up both tactics and lineups. True to his word, he opened against South Korea with a puzzling 4-3-2-1 formation. The result? Mass confusion, unclear defensive duties, and a U.S. team that looked flat-footed and hesitant. Poch himself even called them passive. The American defense froze as South Korea strolled in for the opener, with missteps from Christian Pulisic, Tyler Adams, and Sergiño Dest, leaving Tristan Blackman desperately trying to plug multiple holes at once. And then, veteran Tim Ream's lapse allowed Son Heung-min, the last player you want to leave unchecked, to do what he does best. Let's be honest, the 4-3-2-1 didn't blow up the entire match, but it failed catastrophically at the worst possible moments, leaving the U.S. neither sturdy in defense nor sharp in attack. And this is the part most people miss. Sometimes bold experiments flop, and that's okay as long as you adapt. Pochettino responded. At the hour mark, he changed both personnel and formation to a 3-4-2-1 setup. Overnight, the team flipped the script. They outshot South Korea 14-1 from then on. Next, facing Japan in the same 3-4-2-1 system, the U.S. delivered their finest performance yet, winning 2-0, with a goal constructed straight from an organized attacking buildup. The numbers don't lie. From halftime of the South Korea match onward, the U.S. outshot their foes 36-12. Their expected goals, XG, tilted a hefty 4.02 to 1.33 in their favor, almost all in this new tactical shape. Still, some will argue, Japan didn't field their strongest lineup. But here's the key. When Japan did introduce stars like Takumi Minamino and Kaoru Mitoma, the U.S. actually looked even more dangerous. That begs the question, are friendlies a true measuring stick? Maybe not. Yet based on these performances, it seems inevitable we'll see the 3-4-2-1 stick around heading into October. Let's break down the real turning points. Formation wasn't the only dividing line. There was also a clear split between the minutes with Folarin Balogun on the pitch and those without him. Did Balogun miss a handful of big chances? Absolutely. But the column's golden rule holds. Strikers who get in position will, eventually, start finishing. His emphatic goal against Japan, which paired skill with physicality, might just have sealed his claim as the new go-to striker. Max Arfsten is another name to put in bold. He handled himself competently as a makeshift left back against South Korea. But when Pochettino moved him up to his preferred wing-back role, he soared. Against Japan, many saw him as the standout performer, coach included. It was a breakout showing, built on smarts and adaptability. In goal, Freese provided steady hands and several highlight reel stops, including impressive moments moving off his line. If he keeps improving his sweeper-keeper instincts, he'll erase the few remaining doubts about his role. On the flip side, some players watch their stock slide. Josh Sargent, for instance, has long had supporters making excuses, but when given chances, results just haven't followed. His international scoring drought stands out especially harshly against Balogun's impact. Unless Sargent sparks a resurgence at club level, we may not see him back until the next World Cup cycle. Sebastian Berhalter and Diego Luna both missed golden opportunities to lock down roles. Berhalter's limited athleticism and Luna's lack of attacking ambition weren't lost on the coaching staff. Timothy Weah's versatility continues to earn him call-ups, but in bouncing across nearly every position, has he become a jack of all trades and master of none? For all his utility, he hasn't delivered as much spark as Arfsten did, and that's bound to generate debate. Looking at the depth chart, Alexander Freeman is quietly making himself indispensable, especially with the added value of covering multiple positions in a back three. Christian Roldan, too, deserves credit. His subtle ability to connect the midfield, win balls, and launch dangerous attacks was noticed by Pochettino, despite a late mishap against Japan. Jack McGlynn appeared late but made an impression as a sub and set-piece threat, perhaps carving out a specialized role for himself as the team looks to the future. And this side-eye topic could ignite some controversy. Does the U.S. have enough center-back depth for a three-man defense? Blackman improved from a shaky first half, but may not be a long-term starter. None of the current trio, Blackman, Ream, Chris Richards, dominates the air, and against physical opposition, that's a risk. Should Pochettino look to proven names like Walker Zimmerman, or give a shot to emerging talents like Jackson Rajan? Chime in if you think there's a better answer. One tactical dilemma remains. Where do the missing European-based talents fit as the group evolves? Malik Tillman and Weston McKennie seem locked in for the next camp, with McKennie a surefire starter. Anthony Robinson is the best option for a back four. But how about in a wing-back system? Would he fit in as a hybrid center-back, or does his presence create new problems in the air? Yunus Musa's exact role is still uncertain. While players like Johnny Cardoso, Tanner Tessman, and Aidan Morris have yet to convince Pochettino. And then there's the elephant in the room, Gio Reyna. Rumors swirl about his absence, but it's clear the U.S. could use his unique ability to elevate the entire attack. Is it too soon to rule him out for 2026? Should the team take a risk to unlock its highest potential? Here's where you come in. Which tactical shift did you find most surprising? Should the team prioritize stability or keep testing the waters with new faces? And are there big names you'd bring back into the fold, even at the risk of shaking up team chemistry? Drop your opinions. Let's have the debate.